There. Do you hear that when it says it, Ida?
Yeah, it says
Okay.
recording in progress.
I wonder if everybody hears that.
Probably.
So recording in progress. That's
Yes.
good. Yes, because there's been 2 sessions that we forgot to do that. And Margaret's reaction was not caught on video. There might have been some choice words used.
Mhm.
Okay, so here we are. We're doing a special MAAT session today. We're here just to talk about ATEN, how we came to be, this resource in our community, and how we may have to close this, I'm going to call it an essential service resource in our community by August 1st, 2022, unless we can acquire funding or some sort of miracle. Today is June 1st, and I am Margaret Major. I am co-founder and registered counseling therapist here at the After Trauma Empowerment Network in Shubenacadie, Nova Scotia. I'm joined with Vida Woodworth, who is co-host and chairperson on ATEN Board of Directors. And Kate Matthews is here as well. She just put an upside down question mark. I'm not quite sure what that means, but
I almost dropped my laptop.
oh, okay. She almost had an incident. Okay, Kate, glad you're still with us.
Yes.
So Kate is our technical director. Kate will not show herself on the screen. We've tried to use trickery. We've tried to get sneak video and photos, but no, Kate won't allow it. She's very private in that way, but she's
I
gonna.
wonder if somebody donated a big amount of money that maybe she would show her face.
Ooh, as a fundraiser. No.
Yeah.
She said no.
And she responded no very quickly.
I think before you even had it out of your mouth,
Yeah.
Vida, she said no.
Yeah.
Maybe just how long her hair is. We could do a
Yes.
back shot and just show how
Yeah.
long her hair is. Or Kate. We're giving Kate a hard time.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so first, as always, we're going to start with our diversity welcome. And then I'm going to read a letter that I sent out and posted on Facebook on Monday about what's happening here at ATEN right now. And then Vida is going to share some of her thoughts and concerns and perspectives and comments. And then we're going to open it up to anybody who's joining us who would like to offer their voice and opinion or thoughts on this matter. Okay. So on this June 1st, 2022, we would like to welcome all women, men, transgender, and other identified individuals here today. We welcome everyone here who is a mother, father, sister, brother, auntie, uncle, son, daughter, cousin, grandmother, grandfather, parent, caregiver. Welcome. We welcome people of all races, tribes, and descents. We welcome your bodies, your minds, and your energy. We welcome victims, survivors, and those who support them. We welcome all people single, married, partnered, dating, celibate, or involved in whatever sort of relationship is right for you. Welcome. We welcome gay, lesbian, bisexual, heterosexual, queer, asexual, two-spirited, and others for whom none of the current labels fit. We welcome your emotions, your joy, bliss, happiness, sadness, frustration, anger, contentment, all of your emotions. Welcome. We welcome everyone's special way of understanding and knowing the world, everyone's wisdom, whether it is education that has been learned in schools, colleges, universities, and/or the deep and profound school of life. We welcome those living with chronic medical conditions and disabilities, visible and invisible. We welcome mystics, seekers, and believers of all kinds. We welcome people who identify as activists, community leaders, musicians, artists, advocates, group members, and those who don't. And finally, we'd like to welcome the ancestors who lived in this land where we are now. Welcome the spirits of Mi'kmaq, the natives who lived in this area before the Europeans came. We'd like to acknowledge them and invite their spirits to this space. Everyone, welcome. And thank you for joining us, for taking time out of this crazy life we all live and spending a little bit of time with us. We really appreciate you being here. Okay. So normally we do a check-in, Vida. Do you want to do a check-in or do you want to get right to this?
No, I think we should go right to your letter.
Okay. So this is some of you who are going to watch this video may have already heard this. For those of you who haven't heard this letter or read this letter, this was sent out Monday, and I'll just read it. Dear Nova Scotia government, colleagues, and community, it is with a very heavy heart that I write this letter. In January 2020, I co-founded the After Trauma Empowerment Network, ATEN, in Shubenacadie, Nova Scotia, to meet a high need and demand for a community-based, not-for-profit resource to address multiple forms of trauma. For example, sexualized violence, abuse, assault, domestic violence, human trafficking and exploitation, intergenerational trauma, vicarious trauma, homicide, etc. ATEN offers barrier-free, trauma-informed counseling, therapy, support, and resources to all gender individuals, families, and communities affected by trauma. I currently have a caseload of over 50 clients and a wait list of over 20 people wanting to access services. Over the past 2 years, we have provided services and supports to over 275 people across Nova Scotia. For over 2 years, I've been contacting different departments in our provincial government to schedule an urgent meeting to discuss core operational funding. I either get no reply or get a message to try again in 2 months. This has been going on for over 2 years now. We have not had any funding or financial support from either our municipal or provincial government since we began operating. I am exhausted and frustrated. To date, our operational expenses, our rent, phone, internet, and office supplies have been paid from donations, fundraisers, and out of pocket. I've been volunteering full-time on professional services since March 2022. We very much value and appreciate all of the much needed support we have received from our community, Nova Scotia, and Canada. ATEN services and supports are life-saving and invaluable to those who have experienced trauma and those who support them. It breaks my heart to share with you that ATEN will have to close our doors by August 1st, 2022, unless we acquire a bridge, core funding, or a miracle. If you would like to help and support, please consider emailing the Minister of Health and Wellness, Honorable Michelle. I think I've got that wrong. Minister of Mental Health and Addictions, and the Deputy Minister of Health and Wellness and Mental Health and Addictions. And I'll include a copy of this in the description, a copy of this letter. So part of me doesn't really know what to say, because this is a hard thing to talk about. It's a hard thing to think about. So the After Trauma Empowerment Network, as I indicated in the letter, started in January 2020. So I had a private practice, major counseling therapy, and I was getting a lot of emails and phone calls and Facebook messages from people looking to access mental health services and trauma services because they're extremely limited in our world. And I thought, okay, I'll take one day a week and I will see a handful of clients for free, because most people can't afford to access these services. And a lot of people do not have insurance to cover this. And for some people who do have insurance, you're lucky if you can get five sessions. And when you're dealing with issues like trauma, abuse, assault, violence, 5 sessions isn't going to cut it at all. So Vida and I go way back, probably 15 years ago, when Vida was the executive director at the Colchester Sexual Assault Center in Toronto. And I joined the board, and Vida and I had lots of conversations. And then eventually I took over that role as executive director at the CSAC. So Vida and I had coffee probably in January sometime, and we got talking about the amount of people that were looking for services and wanting to do something. So we started with this idea of After Trauma Empowerment Network. We had a little tiny office up on the main street in Shubenacadie, the old Hance Realty office, which is now back to being the Hance Realty office again. And within, I think it was 2 or 3 months, I was up volunteering up to 3, almost 4 full days a week, seeing people for free. And still, like right now, my caseload is over 50 people. And we have a wait list of people waiting to access our services. Last week, I had 3 people call for services. This week, I've had 2 people reach out looking for services. There's such a high need and demand, not only in this community, in every community, to have a resource like this. This is an essential health service, and we believe that this must be funded by the government. Like, this is a health service. We're talking about mental health, and all the lip service we keep hearing about, yeah, we're going to increase funding for mental health services and supports and sexualized violence. Where is the action? There's this, but like, what's going on? And what's the sense of having something if it takes 10 years to get it figured out on how to disperse it? Yes, there's the fed up part of me coming out a little bit. Just trying to keep that a little tamed down, because I don't want the F-bomb to start flying around. So I think that, as I said in the letter as well, the support that we have had from our community. When we had our first online auction fundraiser last year, with our call for submissions, art pieces that were donated, and then the donations, and then the people supporting this, and just making donations just because they support this organization being in the community, whether they access it or not. We are so immensely grateful to the people in our community that have given their support, that have emailed their concerns and their offers of kindness and thoughtfulness on what can I do? I want to do something. Raising awareness is doing something. Just saying, hey, are you aware of this organization, that the services they provide, and they have no funding? We're thankful to the Canadian Women's Foundation for their funding that was able to sustain me for a few months with project funding. That is incredibly valuable. And to the Mental Health Foundation of Nova Scotia, we're very grateful for their funding, project funding for Project MAAT, which allowed us to be able to do these shows. And now we have, I think this is number 49. That's incredible. And we've had some fantastic shows with some amazing guests that, and I don't want to be done yet. We still have way too many things to talk about, Vida, and so many incredible artists and musicians that we want to share, and conversations that need to be heard, that need to be had. That's what we want to do. And look at the list. Like, this has got to be the biggest list that we've had since we've started doing this. And I'm grateful to each one of you for joining us and for your support, because all of you on that list have supported us here in some capacity. And please know that we're very thankful and grateful. And I know that you have a lot that you want to say, Vida. And I'm thinking once you say some things, that's going to prompt me. So you are welcome to have this space to share your thoughts on what's happening on.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Okay. Well, as I was listening to you, there were a lot of things going through my mind, and I really wanted to be able to be, I guess, focused to say some things that I had been thinking about in the last week, because I can go off in a lot of different directions, as you know, and as our viewers know sometimes. I'm the other co-founder of ATEN, as well as the chair of our board and a volunteer here and a community member. And when Margaret and I reconnected, I guess in that January, and had some discussions over coffee, I also, we both grew up in this community, and we both have lived here pretty much our whole lives. And we have seen and heard people saying things like, oh, I wish I could go and talk to somebody about, some stuff I'm dealing with, or there aren't any services for me in this community. And when I ask somebody, they tell me I have to go to Truro or I have to go to Halifax. And when I went there, they told me that I'm going to have to wait for 3 months, 6 months, 8 months, a year to just get in to talk to somebody. Whether that's mental health services or other kinds of services. We're having the same kind of struggle with having family physicians who are going to retire someday, and bless them. I want them to be able to retire at an age that they're young enough to enjoy it. But it's scary when I'm sitting in the doctor's office calculating whether or not I'm older or younger than my doctor. And if I'm older, how much older? And, is he going to retire before I'm gone? Or am I going to have to look for another doctor?
Yeah.
And I want him to retire, but at the same time, I don't want to lose him. So, there's that kind of thing. We have a resource center in Elmsdale that houses, we can get our blood work done. Public health is located there. There are some services for mental health located there, but they have wait lists. And they're based from the hospital healthcare setting. It's been my experience, having worked in Halifax in the beginning, and then in Truro at the sexual assault center there, and in just working in nonprofit. People need more than one choice. It would be great if one option would work for everyone, but it doesn't. I've read over and over again that nonprofits save thousands and millions of dollars to the government because they're able to do the work that government organizations can't do with money. We do it with a tiny bit of money, and they get a lot more bang for their buck. If we're based in the community, then people sometimes feel that they will feel more safe to go and talk to someone. Some of the statistics just recently, just before we came on, I looked on the phone, and in Nova Scotia, every 72 hours, someone dies of suicide.
I know.
And that blows my mind. And we know that if someone actually is able to complete suicide, how many people have been thinking of it, attempting it, who don't have someone to turn to? Because suicide is preventable. If they have someone they can talk to or something that can intervene, it can be prevented. We know that and the statistics are all over the place, but 1 in 2 young women will experience sexual violence of some kind before she turns 16. And now we're realizing that for men, that statistic isn't a whole lot lower. It's probably 1 in 3, 1 in 4. We know that Nova Scotia and the corridor area, right from Elmscale or from Halifax up to Truro, is the highway that people who are being trafficked travel in our province. To go to be trafficked somewhere else in Canada, maybe somewhere else in the world, and we have nothing. We have, all these things. These are big things. Then we have the everyday stuff, the things that are just part of life. Somebody dealing with grief, somebody dealing with a mental illness, or dealing with a family member with a mental illness. Where do they go? As you said earlier, Margaret, every community should have a place where people can at least begin to see what might be available to them if they decide that that's what they want to do. And talking to you, Margaret, is a wonderful thing for people, but some other people may just rather drop in somewhere and pick up a book. Or they may just want to know, if we have a list of resources and that are available, something else that maybe we don't do that someone else does. You said in your letter, it's a life-saving service that we provide, and it is. And we have a large school here. We have elementary schools all around us. We have children who are being exposed to violence, whether it's on social media or in school or in the community or on television. We saw what happened. Well, what happens, like, I think it's three or 4 times a day in the United States, they have a mass shooting. We had the largest mass shooting happen in our province, and we had 3 people die within a stone's throw of our office. That affects the community. How do we deal with it? And then you put COVID on top of that, and everybody has to stay home, and you're not allowed to go and see people. And some of the things that people normally do to cope, it's gone. So Margaret, being the clever person that she is, we can talk on the phone, we can do Zoom sessions. So we were still able to find a way to reach out to people when they reached out to us. There's so much happening in our communities. We also have the former residential school here in Shubenacadie, and we have a large community here in Shubenacadie, and every one of the people there was affected by that residential school, whether it's because they attended it or because they are the children or grandchildren or great-grandchildren of someone who did. And so that intergenerational trauma happens. We have all kinds of stuff happening around us. And yeah, it's nice to tell somebody, just, keep a stiff upper lip and stay strong. But sometimes you can't do that over and over again. There's always a need for a place for people to come where they feel safe. And Margaret has been able to, with support from her board and from the community, to create a place, whether you're gay, straight, whatever your religion is, whatever your ethnicity is. We have people who are dealing with homophobia, racism, sexism, bullying, vicarious trauma, you name it. And people can come and find that they're welcome. And if we can't help them, that we will help them find someone that can. And right now, finding someone besides us is pretty hard. The other thing I want to say is, I mean, Margaret has borne a lot of the pressure. You're the person that is kind of the face of ATEN. You're the one who does the one-on-one counseling. You had a student from Acadia who came and was able to do her placement here from the counseling program that Acadia offers. And because of her being here and your willingness to be your supervisor, we were able to reach more people. So, you know, we could say we can continue to have Margaret come and go to work every day, but it would be nice if we could pay her. I mean, you mentioned that you haven't been paid since March, but you weren't paid a lot of that other time before that. And I know it's not about a big salary. It's about Margaret has a bills to pay just like anybody else does. I'm lucky. I've been able to retire and I'm able to volunteer, but we need more Margarets. It would be great if we could pay her, but I also would love to see at least one other therapist here, because I think that there will be so much more we could do.
Yeah.
And also we could, you know, help other organizations go into schools and help provide education and workshops. We have gone out into the community as much as we can, but again, we can't have one person work 24 hours a day and then come to work the next day. Well, actually, you'd never leave work, but yeah. So I guess, you know, when I hear responses from the government, like, oh, well, we're still reviewing it, you know, call us back in a couple of months. I'm sorry, it doesn't cut it anymore. And yeah, we could try and go on without support and core funding, but I don't think it's fair to ask anybody to do that at this point without knowing that we can pay the staff person or the staff that we need to have here. And don't tell us there's a program in Truro or there's one in Halifax or even Sackville, because it doesn't work for everyone. And who wants to wait a year when you're right now is when you want to see somebody, or at least the hope that in a week's time you can see somebody. So whoever can, you know, you can think of, and you know, the response to Margaret's letter has been phenomenal. I mean, people that neither of us know are trying to do whatever they can to support us. But we really need to make this government accountable. And, you know, you don't have to reinvent anything. You don't have to come up with it. We've done it. We've done the hard work. We've proven that the need is here, and we took that risk. And now it's time to support it. We've saved you a whole lot of work by just going ahead and doing it. So now put your money in the pot and let us move on. So there, that's part of it.
Yes, yes. Yeah, I know, because once we get going, Vida, I mean, you and I could go for days, just.
Yeah.
Because I mean, that triggers this thought. No, yeah, we need to talk about that. And,
yeah.
but yeah.
So I don't know if any of our people are listening, and if you have, you know, ideas or things that you would like to say.
Yeah, I wonder.
We had a group here yesterday. We've had groups come and do different things, and to hear someone say, thank you for allowing me to come here this afternoon. I never felt like I could go anywhere where I fit in or belonged. I don't know why I'm telling you all this stuff, people will say, but as soon as I came in and sat down, I just felt safe. I didn't know that there was a place where I could just be myself and everybody would be okay with it. I didn't know what I was going to do tomorrow, But because I came here today, I know I can get through tomorrow. Like those are just some of the things that I've had people say when I've been here. And I know you hear things all the time. Yes, people will get by on their own without us, but it sure makes it a heck of a lot easier sometimes to know that there's someone there supporting them.
Yeah. I know. And Chris Wildboar, he has a few things he would like to say.
Mhm.
So let me see. We need to, I wonder if Kate's going to do that. There. Okay.
Hi.
Hi, Chris. Thank you for being here.
Vida was mentioning a little bit about the history of how you came to where you are now.
Yeah.
And I seem to recall having at least a tiny bit of a intersection with that history at one point when you were doing your internship at Nova Scotia Community College. I had gone to see the guidance counselor because I was, how should I word that, overly triggered by the questionable, somewhat bullying practices of my concentration teacher. And you had were a little confused as to why I was reacting the way I was to him. And so we started discussing my chronology, what I'd been through my life. And to this day, I still don't remember mentioning that traumatic event that eventually brought me back to you again. But apparently I did. And you started asking me how I dealt with that, and I denied even having said it and scooted out of that office a heck of a lot faster than I came in. That was 2008 or 2009.
No.
Then a few years later, 2012, my wife and I had gone to see the movie Iron Man 3, and one particular scene put me into a really bad place. Triggered me big time, and it was innocuous, the scene itself. I don't, other than to say that it was his acting that created a reflection of something that was already going on inside of me. I don't know how else to describe why it affected me the way it did. But over the next few days, it came to a point where it was either find help or take myself out of the equation. And I'd heard a rumor that Margaret was working at Sexual Assault Center. And at that time, as far as I knew, sexual assault centers not only didn't help men, but would have them forcibly removed by police if they showed up. So I called anyway, and you remembered me, and you asked, what you could do for me, and I said, well, do you remember that thing that you said I said I didn't say? And you said, yes, you did. And I said, I need to talk about that. And I know that sexual assault centers don't help males. You said, well, this one does. I said, oh, well, could I make an appointment? And she said, when Jackie came in, I said, could I get in next week? She goes, do you need to talk this week? I said, yeah. And we've been partners in my healing ever since.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And
You've done all the work, Chris.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that, Chris.
healing is a dance. It is a dance.
Yeah.
Your own self has to do the healing, but the necessary inputs. If your body is hurt, you need inputs from a doctor or from medicine. So there's a partnership, and it's the same with the
Yes.
soul.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Chris.
Yeah. And just to say, when I was at the center, I'll just start. The woman who started the center in Truro was a survivor of sexual assault. And when she was assaulted, she got services in Halifax, and then she moved home to Truro. When she moved home to Truro, she wanted to go and volunteer at the sexual assault center there, and she found out there wasn't one. So she made it her life's goal was to open a center there. Her name was Sherry O'Brien. And anyway, she opened, got some funding, and started that center. And from the very first minute it was open, Sherry wanted it to be a place for anyone, regardless of gender. And so when she became ill, after 3 or 4 years of running the center, and I came there, I continued that same thing. And as far as I know, there's the Sexual Assault Center in Halifax. We have sexual assault services in Antigonish, and I think maybe Sydney. But the Truro Center is still the only center that is providing services to male identified people and female identified people. And I'm so glad when Margaret took over when I left that she continued that and expanded it and made it even more welcoming. So, again, Margaret has worked very hard to not just create a space, but to get the message out there that these issues affect everyone, and everyone deserves a safe place to come when they need to talk.
They do. They do.
Yeah. I can hear her whispering in the background, but I don't know where she went.
Ooh.
Oh, there you are. I didn't know where you went, Margaret.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, because you use your phone. And it
Yes.
doesn't, you don't see the same kind of screen as I see on my laptop.
No, I just see, yeah, I thought you disappeared on me.
And I just want to say to Chris, he can probably see the comment, but Julie put out, thank you for your bravery, Chris. Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else that wants to just share something, maybe vent? This is going up on YouTube. Who knows from the government might watch it. Yes.
Yeah. I think I guess I would like to thank the Lotus Center in Truro, because without their support, we wouldn't have even been able to access some of the grant funding that we've
That's
gotten.
right, Vida. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
And also now we are doing a partnership with Third Place Transition House in Truro.
Yes. Yes.
And, so it's nonprofits working with each other, again, helping each other out. We just did a fundraiser and we'll be presenting a check of $5,000, even though we need money. We know there's other people who need it more.
Yeah.
And we partnered with Leanna McLeod, who designed a pin. We raised $5,000 in 72 hours that we're donating to our local organization that helps settle refugees and people new to our country. And we're giving them the money to help support the people who are arriving here tomorrow from the Ukraine. I think there's a plane load of 300 people coming from Poland tomorrow. And so we know that this is hard work. And, we know we need money, but we also want to support other organizations and people who need money too.
Mm-hmm.
And most certainly we are willing to do that. So
Leanna McLeod is such an amazing supporter of ours. Her artistic ability, her skill, her craftsmanship, and the work she does, like her knit apps and medicine bags and the teardrop of hope and freedom.
And it's we're hoping to get better, to go bigger, and
the ideas, Vida.
I know
Vida and I, some nights we'll be on the phone and it's like one idea just fires another one and another one. And next thing you know, we've got a whole shopping mall full of, you know,
A
baskets and
socially
t-shirts.
aware gift shop.
There you go. That's what we're
Yeah.
gonna call it.
Yeah.
There.
So when people want to give a gift, they can give a gift that doesn't just provide a gift to the person, but also gives back in some way.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I'm still holding on to the optimism about the gift shop, Vida.
Oh, I
I
am
don't,
too.
there's this thread of hope that I'm holding on
Yeah.
to, that our doors won't close, and we're gonna have the
Yeah.
t-shirt shop, and we're gonna make the most awesome t-shirts in Nova Scotia.
Yes.
With curse words and
Absolutely.
everything. Yes.
Yep.
Now,
Yes.
Jenny Mosley, she indicated that she would like to say something. So I think
Okay.
Kate is going to do her technical directing, I think. So I've got something in the way and I can't get up there to. There she. Okay. Let me see.
Sorry, I just wasn't sure if I was unmuted.
Okay,
Yeah, you're unmuted.
you're unmuted.
Okay.
I'm trying to get your video to work,
I just thought
Jenny,
it was
but
really
I can't.
important to. It probably won't work on my end.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
okay,
sorry.
Jenny.
That's okay.
Okay, sorry to interrupt.
We hear your voice.
That's okay. I just thought it's really important to me for it to be known the difference in your services from the other services available. I searched for, almost 15 years and, through all the different systems and different things that were available. And the difference in your support and the progress that I was able to make because you're trauma informed. That is not something I had come across until I came across you. It's made the biggest difference in anything. And I think that is a really important part of what you're doing. And thank you.
Thank you, Jenny. Thank you. Yes,
Yeah.
trauma informed is top priority,
Yeah.
because part of this being a safe space for people to come into is recognizing that so many people have experienced trauma that you don't want an environment triggering them.
Mhm.
Because their brain, as soon as they walk through the door, I mean, you've got those bright fluorescent lights and, some, I don't know, something on the wall that's just,
Yeah.
ugh.
You just want to turn around and leave.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've walked into several of those offices. I don't want
Yeah,
that to be here.
Yeah. I think Margaret has a second calling as a decorator, but in like to decorate rooms or spaces so that they feel comfortable and safe for
Well,
everyone.
thank you.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I'll be doing in September.
Yes.
I'll hang another shingle on my lawn. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jenny. Was there anything else that you wanted to
Thank
say?
you. No, I just thought that was a really important part to get across.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now, I think Max, who would be Emmett's Max, which is a kitty cat, would like to give
Yes.
us a wave, I think. Once I grab him, maybe Max has gone away. There's Max. Maxie. There you go.
I
An
think
awesome-
Max is, well, Kate's cats now and Max are probably our feline listeners.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
So,
So we have three of them, as far as I know.
yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Max. All right. Is there anybody else that would like to share anything? And just being here again, thank you.
Yeah.
This is support for Vida and I,
Mhm.
you being here. Look, Vida, we've almost taken up a whole hour.
Oh my goodness.
I thought we would be like 20-30 minutes, but
Yeah. Well,
that's how.
I
And we
guess-
didn't even do a check-in. Can you imagine if we
No.
did a check-in? Ooh.
Oh, I know. Especially my check-ins, they tend to go on. But I guess what I want to say to the people that are listening and who will hear this is we're not going to give up without a fight. And I know it's probably Margaret who is the most tired, but I really believe in this organization. I have from the very beginning when we started. Margaret had an idea, and we kind of fleshed it out and made it happen. And so I'm not going to give up. I think we're going to find a way. And but I also respect Margaret as a friend, as a colleague, and as a person. And I'm not going to ask her to sacrifice herself
No, you wouldn't. I know.
and her well-being. So I'm trying to help, protect her as much as we can, so that she'll be here for the people who need her. And hopefully there'll be some other Margarets or Toms or Bettys or somebody else here as well who can help other people.
Yes, yes. And something I did want to mention that I had on my agenda, was when I mentioned about the community support from people, like people I don't even know sending me emails asking, what can I do? What? And on Facebook right now, there's a pampered chef. Her name is Caitlin. I'm trying to remember her last name and I didn't write that down. I'm embarrassed. So she deals with Pampered Chef, and she has a fundraiser running from June 1st till I think it's June 7th or 6th.
7th, I think, yeah.
7th. And a portion of those sales will be donated to ATEN. So that's one fundraiser that's going on right now. And there's a GoFundMe page that was started by Amy Seymour. There's
Community Heroes quilt.
There's the Community Heroes quilt. Yes. That's kind of still, we're not sure. I want to do it, but if something happens, like I don't want people to make donations for the squares of the hearts and then something happen where we're not here in September.
Yeah.
So, oh, look, Kate put up the link to the GoFundMe page and the comments. See, that's why she's our technical director.
Yes.
She's
earning her keep.
She's
she doesn't get paid either.
Yeah. What was the other? There's also somebody who might be looking at doing some sort of banquet type of fundraiser, but I don't really know much about that yet, or whether what that will look like. But I'm sure that, as I said, lots of people have been reaching out across the province, just saying that they're saddened by this news. They want to do something. They're sharing the posts on Facebook to help raise awareness about this, because a lot of people, unless you've needed to access these services or had family or friends or even a coworker who needed to access mental health or trauma services, they don't know we're here. So just even raising awareness about us, and our services are just limited to East Hants. We have clients from one end of this province to the other, and even beyond. We have actually two that are beyond Nova Scotia.
And with our fundraisers, the one we did specifically for people coming here from Ukraine, we had people in the United States and all across Canada who participated. We've had some good support from media, CBC.
Yes, Marie Adset.
Marie
Yes.
Adset has been wonderful in helping, let people know that we're here and what are some of the important issues that we are, Margaret hears about and we hear about. So, thanks to Marie for that as well. But, there were people, it blew me away. Somebody in San Francisco bought a pin from us in Nova Scotia, and it's just like, wow. And anyway,
I know.
And that's the great thing about our services too, is that people can be anywhere in the world and could technically access services from us.
Mhm.
You know, there's many places in the world that have absolutely nothing. So,
Yeah.
you know, you never know. We want to help all our community, and if we have more to give, we will share it with whoever needs it.
Yes. Yes. So I guess on that note, Vida, as I said, we could go for days.
Yes.
I think I need to go home and finish working on some quilt squares, because
Yes.
that's my therapy right now.
Yeah.
Is so we all need to exercise our creative muscles in our brain. That's good therapy for everybody, whether you're writing a song or playing some drums or playing cards, cutting quilt squares and making a quilt. That's what my therapy is right now. But yes, I need to go home and get some supper and cut some more quilt squares and maybe have a game on in the background. Or maybe
Okay.
some nice, what was that soundtrack, Kate? Suits? At the jam that we had. I had music on, just Suits. It was the Suits soundtrack. And oh, it was smooth, slick, kind of bluesy, jazzy, kind of, oh, it was nice stuff. So I might put that
Yeah.
on. Yeah, that's good for getting you
Cool.
out of your head and grounding you too.
Yeah. All right.
So I'm not sure when we'll be back to do a show. It might be next week, because we didn't decide we were going to do this until 9 o'clock last night.
Yep.
I think. So we could be back next week, or it might be a couple of weeks, but we'll
Any
definitely be.
positive, if we do get any information on funding, we'll definitely do a show, even if it's a quick one, especially if it's a
Yeah.
positive funding thing,
Yes.
and let people know. And this would be one way to let people know, would be through this. So, and we most certainly will be circulating emails and messages too.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Now I see a hand up from Diana. I'm wondering if that means there's a question,
Or
or
hi.
did you want to, or is it a hi? I don't know. I'm not sure. Let me see reactions. I don't think it's an applause. I'm pretty sure it's a hand up. Raise hand. Okay. Under reactions, it is listed as raise hand. Okay. Are you raising your hand, Diana? I'm not sure. Maybe we need to unmute. Well, maybe we'll just hold on for 1 second, see if she comes on.
If not, maybe she could message you or let you know.
Yes, yes. We have each other's contact.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Well,
Well,
thank you again for
yes.
being here.
And
For
especially for the people that shared,
yes,
really appreciate it. That you know, it's nice when you get to hear, you know, that it has made a difference, and also for other people to know that they're not alone in dealing with some of the issues. So
yes, yes, we're so not alone. Now we're going to try one more time with Diana, because she took her hand down and then she put it back up again. So I'm going to ask to unmute and see if that does anything. I wonder if I could type a question. Probably hear my. I don't want someone to have something to say and then, you know, not allow them the space to be able to say it. Okay. Well, I guess we'll sign off. Maybe I'll send her a message
Yeah.
after we're done, just to make sure everything. I am here, but I don't know how to unmute. Okay. I wonder, what's this one? Ask to unmute. Try that. Did that button help? No. Kate, are you able to unmute Diana? I tried. What's this one? How? Can you type your question down in the box, Diana? Mike might not have access in settings for the phone. Oh, okay. It's
Oh, may
only my
not have it.
second time ever to join a Zoom meeting. You're doing a great job, Diana.
Yes. Yeah. Steve said her might not have access to Zoom.
Yeah, the mic, because there's,
Yeah.
we've run
it might
into
be-
stuff before.
Yeah.
It's just, it's funny that I can't unmute a new message. Tap the screen or look in the bottom of the screen. It looks like a mic. Do you see that, Diana? Looks like one of our Yeti mics.
Yeah.
The little symbol for the microphone. Down in the bottom left. Is that right? I still mix up my left and my right. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Try that. Might have a red line through it. Wonder if there's something I can hit here.
I wonder if her volume's turned down.
See, every day is learning, isn't it? Every day. I'm going to ask to unmute again. What happens if I do the video, but then the audio wouldn't be there to go with it? To unmute when host says.
Are they on a phone or a laptop?
Are you on a phone or a laptop, Diana? Phone.
Tap the screen or swipe up. Oh, I hear something.
Yeah.
Can she talk?
No, it looks like she's still muted.
Oh, okay.
One participant. That. I'm just nosing around, seeing if there's.
Oh, okay. Yeah, on mine it comes up. When I tap my screen, it came up.
Oh, did it? She
Yeah.
might need to go into her general setting on her phone and allow mic. Oh, okay. Yes, I think when I used my phone once with Zoom, there was something I had to set on there.
Yeah.
If you have a question or a comment, Diana, you could message it to me, text it to me, or Facebook message it to me. We're all learning together. These little cans of carbonated beverage is great. I didn't know. It's okay to say 7-Up, I'm sure.
Probably not.
Probably not, no. Now YouTube's gonna, oh. Admit. Okay, let's see. There. There you go.
Hello.
Oh,
Hi. Yay, you did it.
you're there.
Yay.
I had to get to my settings and then I lost you and I thought, oh no. Anyway, this is only my first time ever to try to talk on a Zoom meeting, second
You're
time
doing
ever
great,
on it.
Diana. Oh,
Oh,
what
yeah.
happened?
Oh,
Oh,
my
she'll come back.
battery's just low. My
Okay.
battery's just low. No, the only thing I was going to say is the name you were looking for the one doing the
Oh, Pampered Chef.
yes, it's Caitlin Hardy.
Caitlin Hardy, that's it. Thank you.
K-I-T-L-Y-N Hardy. And I guess the question I would have is, every time I've written a letter on behalf of you or somebody else to the government, there's never a response. They don't
No.
even have. And
I-
that I just find that so disrespectful. Hello, you work for me.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you want, I'll send an email to all three of them.
It's you just being here, Diana, is great.
Yeah.
But I haven't
Well-
had a reply from the government from Monday from the letter that I sent either.
I honestly, I'm at a loss because there's just, you know, I have people who tell me, because I'm very open about, I have a therapist and I'm pretty
Mhm.
proud of it. And everybody should have a therapist as far as I'm concerned, because
Me too.
Yep.
we're all full of, and this is my term, and it's not a derogatory term, but my psychobabble, my
Yeah.
psychological babble that goes on in my head.
Mhm.
And when I say psychobabble to other people, they get it right away.
Yeah.
Your psychobabble gets you going, and then you're in your head and all this kind of stuff. And I've referred people to you, and because they can't find anybody else. And here's something. I'm in physiotherapy. I've hurt myself, my leg, and I hurt my arm this winter, and I just the old carcass is falling apart. But anyway, she would like to talk to somebody, and she has talked to people, and it's just not a good click. And she's a person who's gone out on her own as a physiotherapist, and she brought up a term. And I said, that's it. You've just described Margaret, client-centered, rather than business or office or organization, client-centered. And I said, you just described her right to the T.
Yeah.
The client comes first.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be really sad when she does decide to reach out and you have to put her on a waiting list.
Well, we're being hopeful that won't
Yes.
happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
So client-centered is probably the perfect way to describe
Thank you.
ATEN.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good,
Yeah.
because that's what we try to, incorporate and operate from, because the client, it is about the client. It's,
And this physiotherapist, she's about the client. That's why she had to go out on her own, because
Mhm.
well, we all know the office politics and the organization
Yes.
and all that. So yeah, she said it best. You're client-centered, and you won't put up with foolishness or politics.
Yeah.
And shouldn't have said that if it's gonna go on YouTube.
you're allowed to say it.
that's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Have you watched any of our episodes? There's usually
No, I'm
riddled
usually
with
doing news.
mistakes and things that, Margaret effed
things
up.
we shouldn't said.
Well,
We've even
I
said the F word before.
no.
Yeah.
F-bomb.
Yes.
Wow. Well, what I said that is because I don't, it's like you have to go jump through all these political hoops to get some funding to help people. And all you're getting is lip service, and all the time you watch, oh, well, we're going to fix healthcare. Oh, yay. And I just had eye surgery, a cataract, and I'm still going to I'm getting another one done, a year and a half to get this surgery. And I've
Yeah.
stayed pretty much in isolation, Margaret, because if I go in there, we're sitting 6 feet apart and I never hug you anymore. And so a year and a half. And I've been, and they say, well, this is elective surgery. Do you know how many old people are driving around with cloudy
Yeah.
lenses in their eyes, driving around trying to see the road?
Yeah,
Uh-oh, uh-oh.
I would
Yeah.
call it an essential service.
I would say the same.
So
Yeah.
We need
that's,
you to be one of our co-hosts, Diana.
Yes.
pardon?
You need to be one of our co-hosts.
Why do I? Because I have pink hair.
Well,
That just adds to your
I-
your
I call-
amazingness.
God,
yes.
I'd have to comb it to do that.
No, I like your perspective on things.
Yes, I have a lot of perspective. I can't see very well right now, but I'm going to get the other eye done, and then I'll get some new glasses and see if maybe I can start seeing the road a little bit better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, yes, I'm always full of little fun teehees and lahas. But no, this is my first time to ever try to do this.
Well, success. Success.
Yay.
Diana.
Yes, you
Yes.
did.
Yay.
Learning.
Yeah,
This is
I'm
something you're
just
learning
trying
for
to,
today.
trying to put this old body, keep it going and keep it put together. But sure, I'd co-host for you sometime.
Okay.
What am I
All
supposed to
right.
do?
We'll let you know.
We'll let you know.
Oh, do I get a script?
It's quite a rigorous procedure we go through.
Yes,
here
it
before we
is.
do a session.
I see it's, what is it, ad lib?
You
I have-
nailed it on the
This
head.
This is my agenda
I
on
can't
my
see
sticky.
it.
That's okay.
Well, one of our other viewers, Emmett, tried to teach us and did teach us some sign
Sign
language.
language.
But I guess
Yes.
if you can't see, that wouldn't help. You wouldn't be
Well,
able
I
to see our
can-
signs.
I can
Never
see.
mind.
It's like, I'll be so glad to get my eyes restored. I'm telling
Yeah.
you, to be going around in a fog, and there's so many people. And that's the first thing they dump is cataract surgery or eye surgeries. Oh, because
Yeah.
it's
Elective. Yeah.
yeah, well, it's actually not elective. Well,
Mm.
yeah,
It's
it is and it isn't.
selective. It's selective. They can select not to do it when they want to.
Well, but it's all been this COVID stuff, 'cause
Yeah.
people deciding they're not.
Not going to follow the rules.
They have their rights, okay, but you took mine away when you
Yeah.
filled the hospitals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on venting, so I didn't want to do that.
Yeah. You'll have to come on and do another show. Be a co-host on the show.
Oh, okay.
We'll come up with some good topics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if it's about animals, I could talk forever, or coyotes,
Yes,
Well, there
dogs.
are.
yes.
or ticks.
Yeah.
Ticks. Like, ticks. That's a big conversation piece now. Ticks.
Yeah, now I feel like I've got some on.
Yeah,
Oh, my dog brings them home every day from the park.
Ugh.
yeah. They're all around us.
They certainly are. All right. Well, you need to go home and do your peace out
Quilt
thing.
squares and have some supper. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are
Thank you,
gonna be doing-
Diana.
Are you going to be doing any online? Wow. Oh, those things where you sell things.
Oh, auction.
Auction?
Yeah. Holy cow. Senior
Yeah,
moment.
we might be, we're kind of just pausing to see what the
This week,
government
yeah.
might say. And then we'll come up with a plan, and nothing's out of the running,
No,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
yeah,
No.
we'll see what we can come up with. So
Okay.
we could
Yeah.
have a
Yeah.
70s disco dance fundraiser.
yeah,
The Bee Gees, some, Diana Ross, and let's get some
yeah,
disco going. That'd be great.
Donna
Well-
Summer.
Well, no, but now, Vida, this is it.
Yes,
It's called Staying Alive.
yes. There we go.
That's one of the Bee Gees' biggest hits, and that's what my theme is right now, staying alive.
There you go.
Yes.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah,
Boys,
that's
everything's falling apart except my spirit and my sense of humor.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I think your sense of humor should be the last thing to go.
Oh, it has to be.
Yeah,
Because especially, yes, oh yeah, it has, you gotta have a sense of humor or you just can't. Yeah. So but I don't know about getting into the disco dancing because I might wind up in more physiotherapy.
Me too.
So I will say,
Good to think about.
goodbye and let you
Okay.
guys go.
okay.
Thank you,
Have a good
Diana, for
night.
sharing.
You
Yes.
okay, bye-bye.
Glad we could
Bye-bye.
see you.
Okay, bye-bye. I'll comb my hair next time.
Okay. I will too.
All right, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, there. Finally,
note.
yes. Woohoo. I'm glad that we got to connect before we signed
Yes.
off, because it seemed like we were having quite a challenging moment there, kind of trying to
Yeah.
connect, but. Well, Chris is in if we do a 70s,
Okay.
70s disco fundraiser. Maybe it could be a
There.
70s disco dance-a-thon.
Oh, yeah.
When's the
remember
last
those?
dance-a-thon you heard of? Yeah.
I know. Or a sock hop.
A sock off. Yep, we could do one of those too.
Yeah.
And then we might as well have a grunge show.
Oh, yeah. And a mosh pit.
A mosh pit. Oh, I don't think I ever talked about my experience in the mosh pit in New York.
Oh.
No, that's not, because my heart's starting to rate.
Oh, no, your anxiety's going up.
It was the first panic attack I ever had, was in the middle of a mosh pit while Soundgarden was playing up on stage in Syracuse, New
Oh.
York.
Yes.
Oh.
Probably not a good place to have your first panic
Oh, it
attack.
was intense. It was so intense. Yes. Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's press pause and we'll sign off. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll see you again
Yes,
in a
definitely.
little while.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So, as I usually say, thank you for being here again, everybody. Please take good care of yourself, take good care of each other, and be well. And we will see you again soon. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.